welcome to Born for the Trades, a home service podcast. I'm your host, Mandy Bala. And unfortunately, Shreya could not make it to this one, but I'm sure she'll be there on the next one. We have amazing guest again here, I would say for the second time, and his name is Levi. He's a business consultant, teacher, author, and successful former contractor who helps other contractors learn to run their businesses with less stress and more success with systems. His work has impacted numerous contractors, most recently through his online programs, the 7 Power Contractor Signature Operating Manual System and Signature Staffing System, and his book, The 7 Power Contractor. Welcome all on our show again.
Join us as we dive deep into the world of home service entrepreneurship, interacting with industry leaders, coaches, and entrepreneurs about their experiences, challenges, and victories. Through their inspiring stories, we hope to equip our listeners with the tools and knowledge they need to succeed in the competitive home service industry. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, tune in to Born for the Trades podcast for invaluable insight and real-world inspiration.
And I'm excited. I'm excited for this event, Home Service Freedom event, which is coming, I think it's just like next week, right? Is it happening?
Yeah, it's November 1st. So it's, next week. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of people descending on Orlando, and with good reason.
With good reason. And I think this is definitely going to be an epic event. And it's just like 1 hour away. I'm so excited to meet you in person, Al.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to go to these events. I've reached this time in life and where I'm able to see a lot of friends and meet new friends face to face rather than just on Zoom. But the thing that I wanted to share about this event, all these events, anytime you disconnect from your business, I think it's a good thing. And it goes back to my own contractor experience. If you're always in the swamp, you don't know you're in the swamp. So you have to leave and come back and find out what problems and issues you are, which is a scary thing, but you don't get any growth without that. So why would you disconnect from your business and go to this home service event? And because of my relationship with Tommy, when he was planning this thing, I said to him, I go, myself and my brothers, we would plan about what events we were going to go to. And this was a fraction of what there is today. There's so many events. Obviously, I understand. But the reality is, do you want to go to an event where you just hear a couple of good speakers and have a lot of lists? Because there's value in that, but not what I really spoke to Tommy and people that are behind it is to go there with the intention to get systems to bring back to your business, to run your business more systematically. That's right. Really what, in my talking to Tommy and the team that's putting this together, that was their focus. And also the famous line, which I love, and I know I'm going to blow it, but your net worth is your network. And so, Tommy is opening up the playbook as he is. He's just really giving in that way of the great, vendors and people and connections that he has that us as average contractors could never have.
And that's amazing. And I'm grateful to be part of this event. My entire team will be there. The Tampa team and Dallas team, super excited. And you are one of the speakers there. So what will you be doing on stage on, I think, Friday, 11?
Yeah, it's Friday morning. Yep.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be reprising the event. Tommy and I, last time out, I said, Tommy, everybody's seen so many of my presentations. They see so many of the stuff, but they really have some burning questions, about what makes the difference between successful contractors. When do we hit success? How do you set goals? All these kinds of things. So It'd be great if you just interviewed me. And frankly, everything's on the table. No holding back. You ask anything you want and I will answer it. And it was electric. Tommy couldn't believe, he said, we had blocked an hour. He says, I could have gone another 2 hours. That's how much it was. And we looked down at the clock and we couldn't believe it because we were so engrossed and so anxious to share so much of our stories, both together and separate, and things that I've learned along the way that, it really opened up in a different way. It's a little different than, just making a good PowerPoint presentation. It's not to degrade that, but this is very different. So that's what Tommy is giving me the opportunity to do this again to this bigger crowd so that I can share these things. And so that's really what my time on stage is going to be about.
That's amazing. I'm super excited for that session and others as well. I know you mentioned about like, other events, but I know like you guys had like, vertical track in the past. So what's special about the Freedom event versus all other industry events?
Yeah, so this is not a knock on any of the other great events. A lot of people run some great events and there's some great speakers and stuff. But I think the way this was designed was really about, again, going home with tangible things to do rather than a big long list. Because I'm betting all of you listening have a big long list. So the question always comes down to, do you need one more good idea? Or do you need an idea implemented? Do you need systems? And the answer should be a screaming yes. And so that's really what I asked Tommy and the team to focus on. And there's just a ton of giveaways that Tommy is, one thing about Tommy, he can outdo himself on any given day. And he has just opened up, just because I just passing said, we should be able to give some things from the vendors. And he just put it to the floor. I think it was like $290,000. I don't have it to an exact number, but there's just an enormous, there's a lot of stuff that he's dug into his own pocket to do it. And, this event, he doesn't need you to show up at his event for him. This isn't a profit thing or that he's doing and the rest of it. And the other myth I would love to bust is it's called Home Service Freedom for a reason. When I came to Tommy's garage door company, I never worked with a garage door company. I couldn't even name a garage door company. But I worked obviously with, same as me, plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical. And then I worked with commercial roofers. And then I worked with kitchen cabinetry guys and a condo builder and a photographer. And, so our businesses are more alike than they're not. And so working with Tommy, I said, this is great stuff in vertical track, but we have so much more than what's going on here that affects all home service companies, everything. And through his network, I mean, there's windows and door guys that reach out to me, painters, pest control, all of it applies. If you got to answer the phone, if you got to dispatch, if you have to have text, guess what? This all fits you. It fits you like a glove. And that's really kind of the main thing or object to why to come to this event and what you're going to take home. Because I measure it by what do I go home with?
That's amazing. It's not just like, I know vertical track like was focused on like garage door. Like you said, it's just for any home service industry, those who have techs. And to the listeners, make sure that you are part of this event. This is definitely going to be helpful, where you learn from the best of the best people out there so that you can go back and implement. And I think Al is all about that implementation, right? That sets you apart and, so that you can take your business to the next level, right?
No, there's no question about it. I talk about the 7 powers, and the very first one is planning power, which is learning how to take all the great ideas and get them in a way that you can work on the right thing in the right way at the right time. That's the essence of planning power, to take good ideas into implemented ideas. But that's also about the systems, Dan Antonelli with branding, myself with operating manuals and org charts, and how to take, young willing apprentices with no skills to willing techs with great skills. Because my guys during the COVID era, the ones far and wide, they didn't have a tech shortage like all of you. I mean, I would see it constantly in every Facebook group. Oh, where do I find great techs? Where do I find great techs? Gee, that's new. If I hadn't asked that question in 1985, we solved it way back then. The answer is you have to start your own pipeline. So these are the systems and things that we're talking about and getting you fast forwarded to. And because of the Tommy connection, it's never going to be more affordable to you and more in reach and things of that nature through the Home Service Freedom event.
Love that. Love that. What you just said. And I think everyone should be part of it. And I want to know more about from the past, events. So can you share some success stories from?
Yeah. I'm going to share one story, and it's just one story alone, but
one is fine.
Yeah. Mike Gittich in the Cleveland area is a handyman and does handyman service, which means all of what I do, like plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, carpet. He really dug into this stuff, but he discovered me at that event. And he took it to heart that without org charts, without manuals, without repeatable systems, his dream of scaling his business and making it repeatable was impossible. And then, so he really bid hold strong on that and really changed his company. Mike constantly sends me emails and texts and stuff, to how much this has changed his life. This isn't about me, but
Right.
it's about the power of coming to the event, getting to the right connections. Tommy has given him great advice over the years as well and got him set up. And one of the things is he just did a rebrand, and it's just amazing, changing his name from something that didn't mean what he did to a name that's really great. And his trucks and the brand just looks fantastic. These are just a couple of examples of what it did for just one person. But I've met so many guys
Right.
at the shop where, can I share a quick story?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for laughing. My brother Marty, his son, the son of his second wife, new wife, is had a house and needed a garage door inspection. And I asked, guys online, who it was, and there were two guys who responded, and they're in New Jersey. And I looked up where these guys were willing to drive with just to look over the door. One was West Virginia, and the other one was Illinois. And my brother and I were just blown away by the generosity. And I called them up and I said, thank you. And they go, Al, you don't understand, Tommy, these events and what it's done for us. We drive across the country if we had to. It just goes to show you that, that there's a deep personal connection, but really about how systems and the right connections can change things for the better in a way that you can't even, frankly, most of you can't even envision.
I agree. Like, and Tommy, like, I reached out to him, like, for some, like, he posted something about like his health and doctor. He shared everything with me. This is his doctor, Mandeep. Reach out to him. This is something, he's taking that help. So he's always like, helping and sharing. And that's something, I love about Tommy and the event. That's something, I'm gonna be part of for the first time, I'm sure. This is going to be really, really good for everyone. And I want to ask you one more thing.
Okay.
What key takeaways will attendees gain from immediate, like, positive changes in their business?
Yeah, I think, hearing from the best is great. All the speakers and the rest of it is great. But what I think is that you're going to come home and understand the systems that you need and have the best access to get that. And then there are takeaways to bring home with you, to not just to have a long list of things to do. That's really what Tommy's goal was. And it's always dangerous when you speak for somebody else. But I can assure you, because, Tommy and I speak quite frankly, as you can imagine. But
Right.
That's really what was the original goal for this event, so that it would be unlike any other.
That's amazing. And I think even I think I heard somewhere that even if you apply, 1% or 5%, like, if you go back and apply whatever you have learned, it's gonna be game changer for your business. And I think that's true, right?
I definitely feel that's true. And Tommy, I think Tommy even said, if you can't save money from coming to this event, you let me know and I'll make it right. It's just crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy how he's opened himself up to give back to the industry in a way that he doesn't have to do any of this. And he's doing it for all of us.
He's a legend, and you too. And I'm super excited to meet you in person. Like, I think next week. And thank you again for joining us and sharing what people can expect from this event. And to the listeners, I'm sure you have booked your tickets, and I'm sure you must be planning to head out to Orlando. This is definitely going to be amazing event, and we all look forward to see you there. And let's make it happen. Thank you.
Sounds great. Sounds great, my friend. Look forward to it.